So what is it really about the heart, and why is the heart so important now to all that we do? We have entered a new evolutionary phase, and it's not just phase 16 after phase 15. This is a change in our evolution that has never happened before. It's unprecedented. The only change of this magnitude was the genesis of humanity. And now humanity is evolving in a different way than it was just a short while ago. A short while ago, most of humanity was confined to the perceptions of the five senses, to what we could see and taste and touch and hear and smell. Now that's changed. Our expansion, our perception is expanding far beyond the limitations of the five senses. We're beginning to sense ourselves as more than minds and bodies. We're beginning to sense our world and our experiences as more than random, but as meaningful and purposeful. And we're beginning to sense the universe as alive and wise and compassionate. All of this is multisensory perception. Perception beyond the five senses. And that brings us into the direct experience. That brings us into direct experiences that cannot be articulated adequately by the intellect. And it also brings us into experiences that can't be, I was going to say figured out, but aren't consistent. For example, aren't consistent to the mind. For example, we tell you that your soul is in eternity, and that you, your personality, are in the earth school, and time is an experience of the earth school. Time, matter, space, duality, those things don't exist for your soul. So your soul doesn't exist in time, and yet it evolves. That is something that the mind cannot grasp. It sends a signal, disconnect, cannot compute, and it can't. And your experiences can't grasp it either. This is one example of the kinds of experience that multisensory perception is bringing into your life. Another might be looking at what other people would experience as a tragedy and seeing that it's not a tragedy, seeing it from an impersonal perspective, the perspective of the soul, in which you see that there is karmic necessity involved in this experience, and there is learning potential being offered to all involved in this experience. This is not the kind of thing that the five senses can agree with, or the mind can agree with. Therefore, the time has come now for a higher order of logic and understanding than the five sensory order of logic and understanding. The logic and understanding of the five senses originates in the mind, and the mind has limitations that cannot be overcome now, that we are moving in to the domain of multisensory perception and a new mode of evolving. This requires a higher order of logic and understanding, and that higher order of logic and understanding originates in the heart.